We are all surrounded by this hidden force, an invisible architecture that's basically reshaping our entire world in real time. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that force, big data ecosystems.
So, let me ask you something. What's the invisible thread that connects, say, your last doctor's appointment, the weirdly specific ads you see online, and even the route your bus takes to work every single morning? Well, the answer is data, a constant, relentless flow of it. But we're not just talking about any data. We're talking about massive, complex, and unbelievably valuable information.
And the system that's built to actually harness all of that, that's what we call a big data ecosystem. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a digital city. You've got the roads, the power grid, the buildings, the people, all of it working together to make sense of this crazy information flood. It's the whole interconnected network that gives big data its power.
Okay, so just how widespread are these ecosystems? The short answer? They are fundamentally changing the DNA of pretty much every industry you can possibly think of. Let's take a quick tour to see how deep this really goes. It starts in fields like insurance, right? Where it's not just about old historical tables anymore. Nope. Now it's about analyzing your real-time driving habits to personalize a policy or flagging a fraudulent claim in literally milliseconds. And then from there, it moves right into our classrooms. In education, these systems can spot a student who's just starting to fall behind and then suggest interventions, creating a truly personal learning path for them. But where it gets really wild is how it's transforming healthcare. We're talking about everything from accelerating genomic research for new cancer drugs to predicting flu outbreaks weeks in advance just by analyzing what people are searching for online. It's amazing. It's even inside the office. In human resource management, or HRM, it's used to figure out what actually drives employee satisfaction, moving way beyond simple surveys to analyze anonymized communication patterns and workflows. And hey, remember that morning commute we talked about? In transportation, big data is the silent conductor of our cities. It's optimizing traffic light timings, it's powering every single ride-sharing app on your phone, and it's rerouting global supply chains around a storm on the other side of the planet. And of course, in e-commerce, it is the engine behind literally everything you touch. That product recommendation that feels a little too perfect, that's the ecosystem at work. The fact that an item is magically in stock right when you want it, yeah, that's the ecosystem too. Then you jump over to the world of finance, where these systems are basically the central nervous system. They're executing millions of algorithmic trades a second and detecting fraudulent credit card transactions before you even realize your wallet's gone. And in accounting, it's automating these huge tasks that used to take teams of people months, like auditing millions of transactions, just to find one tiny anomaly that could signal a huge, huge problem. And finally, it all kind of comes together in customer relationship management, or CRM, where these systems create that almost magical 360-degree view of a customer. It's what allows for that truly personal service. So as you can see, the scope, it's not just big, it's practically universal. Okay, so with all these incredible applications, you might be thinking, great, there must be a simple off-the-shelf solution for this. But the reality of making all of this actually work is way, way more complex. So here's the core challenge, right? We've moved from dealing with data that was, well, neat. It was orderly, it fit into spreadsheets. Now we're managing a chaotic storm of information. We're talking satellite images, social media feeds, live sensor readings. It's all unstructured, all flowing in at once. And that leap in complexity, it changes everything. And this brings us to this timeless, absolutely brilliant principle from the world of software engineering, written by Fred Brooks way, way back in 1986. He said, "There is no single development which by itself promises even one order of magnitude improvement in productivity, in reliability, in simplicity. This, my friends, is the legendary no silver bullet rule." So what does that mean? In other words, there's no magic wand. There is no single tool, no single platform, no single algorithm that can just solve the immense challenges of a modern big data ecosystem. Taming this complexity requires a really thoughtful combination of strategies and a deep understanding of the specific problem you're trying to solve. So if there's no silver bullet, how do engineers and data scientists actually build these incredible systems without them just collapsing under their own weight? Well, the good news is they don't start from scratch. Let's take a quick look at the fundamental building blocks they use. Everything starts with what's called a big data reference architecture. The best way to think of this is as the master blueprint. It's a standardized, high-level plan that outlines all the critical pieces and, most importantly, how they're all supposed to fit and work together.
And then, to actually implement that blueprint, builders rely on big data architecture patterns. These are the proven, repeatable solutions to common problems. It's just like building a skyscraper, right? You don't reinvent how to pour a foundation for every single building. You use established techniques that you know are going to work. So, in a world where there's no silver bullet, the path forward is actually pretty clear. First, you have to deeply, deeply understand the unique needs of your ecosystem. Second, you apply a solid reference architecture to be your guide. And third, you use those proven, time-tested patterns to build a system that's both powerful and reliable. And all this brings us to the final, really crucial point. Knowing that there's no single easy fix, well, it forces all of us to think more strategically, to be smarter. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What's the biggest, most complex data challenge happening right now in your world?